What up, what up, what up? What's happening, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the CM Show. So, of course, when I do my audio check, who am I? I am Christopher Markland. I am your host. I'm an author. Shoot, what all do I do? Author, Jamaican, father, husband, all that good stuff. I am that dude. So, thank y'all for joining me on yet another Tuesday evening. First things first, let me get my candle of the night. Y'all already know, shout out to my sponsor, theblackcandlebox.com. In fact, the Black Candle Box, the owner of the Black Candle Box is actually my co-host on a new production that I have, which is, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later on, but the owner of that is, she's actually my co-host on this new thing that I'm doing, aka the CM Show, but it's Free for All Friday. I don't want to get too much into it right now, but I'm going to talk about it in just a little bit. Tonight, we're going to be going with my favorite, Black Ice. But anyway, make sure you do support the Black Candle Box. Go visit theblackcandlebox.com and use the promo code the CM Show, and you will get a discount. Tonight, we are going to be talking about paying for it. All aspects of paying for it. All aspects of paying for it. You already know. But before I get too deep into it, let me give y'all a couple disclaimers. First of all, this is an adults only show. That means I will be talking about some, we're going to be talking about, when I mean paying for it, we're going to be talking about it. So definitely want to make sure that, y'all are aware that, hey, we do adult stuff on this show. So be advised, as they say, be advised. Cause, let me bring this into it as well. And also, y'all, I do not give relationship advice. This is not that kind of show. I don't give relationship advice. I don't tell you, well, you need to do this with your significant. I don't do that. What I do is I talk about the things that, the mistakes I've made. I've talked about the things that I have done wrong. And I may not necessarily give you advice, but just give you, what's the word I'm looking for? My opinion. Yeah, I just give you my opinion. And also, everyone that calls in on the show, my guests and all that other stuff, that's, the same thing. So that's what we do on this show. We don't give relationship advice. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life and, well, no, I think you should go do this and go do that. No, definitely not doing that. All right. Also, again, I am on that goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers on subscribers on YouTube. So please, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button, okay? Because like I said, we have now that I'm doing 2 shows per week, I want you to, and all of them, they're both going to be on 7 o'clock, but who knows? I may do 3, 4, because I'm starting to ramp some things up. I'm trying to get comfortable today. Anyway, so if you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll hit the notification bell as well. So whenever I do go live or whenever, upcoming shows. Also, for my Ready to Love fans, I thought I saw something, but I need to double check as far as when the new season is coming up. So I'm on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do so. Also, this show is also live on Facebook. In fact, let me make sure that I got that up. Okay. Let's get that out the way. So the show's also live on Facebook. So if you have not, if you're watching on Facebook, let me know something. If you're watching on YouTube, all your comments are going to show up here as well. Keep in mind that after we're going to get into it, and I want to hear from you guys. So the Zoom link, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat now. So if you're going to join the queue, I want to hear from you. Once I want to get your opinion, get your feedback, because as always, this is a conversation. As much as I like to hear myself talk, and y'all know that I've said it many, many times that this is therapy for me, I still want to hear, I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Who pays for it? Because, as we said earlier, all right, Paying for it. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Paying for it. Now, we all know that there are different ways that you can pay for it. Now, it's not necessarily, just a matter of, if I can get this thing to work, it's not just a matter of paying for it from a financial perspective, but there's always different ways when they say you pay for it. That means, yeah, you're going to pay for it. Now, we already know that there are, you know what? Let's talk about paying for it when it comes to dates first, okay? The age-old question, all right, as far as who pays for the first date. Now, there are several schools of thought that, you know what? Let's hear what this gentleman's got to say about that.
Men should always pay on the first date. And get this, for our own good. When us guys take an issue with paying the first date, the issue isn't tied to the number of dollars that we're spending at the end of the day. And if it is, respectfully, you need to go get a job. The issue is when we end up paying for someone who has this real sense of entitlement, like this expectation that we will pay. That's precisely why we need to always pay. Because look, your date, whoever that is, may very well be the person you end up marrying. And trust me when I say, as a divorce lawyer, who you end up marrying is so important. So let's say at the end of the date, you pull out your wallet to offer to pay, and your date just sits there expecting you to pay as if that is the obvious course of action. In that moment, what did you just learn? You just learned that the person in front of you is entitled and frankly has the audacity to expect a near stranger to pay for them. And just imagine how someone like that will treat their significant other, their spouse, for a low price of $20, $30, $40 or whatever. You learned that the person in front of you does not have the basic courtesy to pretend to offer to pay, and that therefore you should never go on another date with them. And that's why
what he said right there, it actually does make sense. To a certain extent, I kind of agree. In fact, let me, a couple people in the chat already. Let me say what's up to my people. Black Pearl, what it do? Thank you for joining the conversation. Let me make sure I put that up there so y'all can actually see. Hey, Black Pearl, thank you for joining the conversation. Now, I agree with what Els just said. I say whoever initiates, invites you on the date, pays. I wholeheartedly agree. It used to be now, and this is just looking at it from a strictly traditional perspective, man, woman. But we're in Pride Month, and I'm here for love, because Lord knows it's hard enough. So if you're able to find love with whoever, as long as we got 2 or more consenting adults, man, run it. But just speaking on it from a strictly traditional standpoint, aka one man, one woman, right? It used to be if the man asked her out on a date, he pays. Also, if she asked him out on a date, he pays. However, obviously things are kind of different in today's modern dating environment. So just like Elle said right there, I agree with her 100%. Whoever initiates pays for the date. However, some people got a different perspective when it comes to that as well. So, if I can get this thing to work.
One of the most insidious and ridiculous effects of the patriarchy is literally women paying 50-50. Men going around being like, it's 2021, equal rights, right? You're gonna pay 50-50? The fact that men expect 50-50 from women when women don't get 50% of anything. 50% of the money, 50% of the privilege, 50% of the safety, garbage. 50% of the space they're allowed to take up. None of that, but pay. Pay equal amounts, even though you don't have equal rights. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? Like, it's really just dawning on me now. It's like, why are we starting at the end? Why are we starting with women pretending like they're equal before they get equal? Because it benefits men. It benefits men to say, oh yeah, I'm feminist. Man. I believe in women paying 50-50 on dinner dates. And that is the only time they believe in equality. Make his pockets hurt.
Make his pockets hurt. If that's some old bullshit right there. Anyway, but that's what a lot of women think. That is absolutely what a lot of women think. Now, obviously, I don't agree with that. Obviously, we can talk about patriarchy. Yeah, that's nonsense. But I think that it's how you start does set the tone. Just like the previous, that the lawyer said earlier when it comes to, dating and whatnot, how you start does set the tone. It's like Els just said right here. She's paid when she's invited guys that she was interested in on dates. I think that because of competition when it comes to dating, eligible men, eligible bachelors, eligible bachelorettes, that kind of thing. If you want it, you got to go after it, because when it comes to social media, when it comes to the dating apps, when it comes to just how easy it is to travel, you can get flued out. It might be on Spirit, you might be out there flapping your wings, but damn it, you'll get there. So the opportunity to meet people, because the advent of the internet has made the world so small. If you are interested in somebody, just like, Elle said right there, if you're interested, you got to get on it, because if you sit back and wait, men are a lot more decisive now when they make a move for whatever reason. However, if you want it, ladies, it's a little different. You can drop your handkerchief and expect, guys to pick up on those cues, but it ain't like it used to be. So my personal opinion, and y'all let me know what you think, when we have, when y'all, call me up, let me know. I personally think that if the guy asks her out, he should pay. If she asks him out, she should pay. I've kind of adjusted my mindset on that. I used to be more into the who asks pays, the guy pays. But yeah, things are a little bit different now. What up, G-Dubs? Thank you for joining the conversation. Black Pearl, she says, I've always wanted to go Dutch on the first date. It's always made me feel like there were no expectations from either party. That is exactly right. Because right now, obviously, we've entered into, how can we say, the Me Too era, where a lot of things that happened in the past, which are now being adjudicated because a lot of dudes did some foul shit back in the day. So now, both parties have to be careful. It used to be, that one night stand, it happened. But now, not just because of the health aspects of it. There's diseases. If you even say the disease, you get it, that kind of thing. So it's one of those things where you have to be careful. But now, in order to protect yourself, because there's a double-edged sword when it comes to social media and that era that we live in. It's one of those things where dudes can stalk your ass and hunt you down, and it's crazy. Don't get me wrong, y'all, some crazy women out there too. So you've got to be very careful. So it's one of those things, in order to protect yourself, and just like Black Pearl said right here, to make sure that there are no expectations as far as, okay, well, because I paid for it, that means, you're going to have to pay for it. Nah, you've got to be careful. And sometimes it's just a safer route to go is, hey, no expectations. I take care of my tab. You take care of yours. And if things develop, then we can take it in a different direction. Now, that brings me to the next point. One of those things, that you pay for. And it's not just when it comes to paying for it. I don't want to just talk about the past. But I don't want to just talk about dates. I want to talk about paying for your past too. Now, those of y'all that have been following me for my Ready to Love reviews, and just, in general, y'all know one of the main things that I'm very keen on when it comes to having strong relationships, be it getting into a relationship, or if you're already in one, getting better in that relationship, is therapy. Because if you do not take care of the issues from your past, you're going to continue to pay it forward in the form of trauma. So one of the things that I've always said is you've got to go back and address your traumas, address the things that have happened to you in your past. All of those relationship issues that you've had in the past, good and bad. It could be one of those things where, your pet died. Any number of things, but it also could have been some very, very serious things that may have happened to you, or you may have bore witness to, meaning, you saw your parents get divorced, or let's go back to what we were just talking about as far as abuse, things like that. If you do not address the issues of your past, meaning you're going to continue to pay it forward, and that bill is going to come due, meaning you are going to either you're going to not be able to fully show up in your present relationships, or you're not even going to want to engage in relationships because of fear. Because, well, I saw that happen to my mama, so I don't want that to happen to me. Now the guard is up and you're completely, you're not open to love. Love is one of those things where you've got to, it's called falling in love. It's free fall. Now you anticipate your partner or the person that, is interested in you to catch you. However, you've got to be able to fall. And if you're like, nah, I'm not even going to jump, the relationship's not even going to start. So like I said, and also because of this very, very interconnected society that we live in via social media, just basically the internet. Think about it. Right now, I'm here in Atlanta, and I mean, I've got, people just talking to a young lady the other day from London, so we're able to reach out and touch people all across the world. So if with that level of interconnectivity, we're able to see glimpses into what people, wish I'd done that, what people present as far as what they think is a real relationship. However, what's not what we think may be real is not necessarily so. So what we see as far as hashtag relationship goals and things like that, that's not in fact, let me see if I can find that video right quick. And of course, my computer's dragging. It's one of those things where, there we go. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. I just had a thought. I wish I thought about it earlier. I could have had it ready. But anyway, while I'm waiting for this thing to catch up, it's one of those things where, we see it, hashtag relationship goals and all of that nonsense. It's one of those things where what you see is not necessarily the real thing. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where people are able to present what it is they want us to see. And all that glitters ain't necessarily gold. So what you think may be the real deal as far as give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. I kind of got myself sidetracked because I just had an idea. And Lord knows, y'all can see how my head hurts. But anyway, it's one of those things where people actually think that, okay, man, they're living this life. They're traveling. They're doing all this. So their relationship must obviously be perfect. But in reality, it's just some bullshit. It's social media enables people to present a facade of what a real relationship is. In reality, it's not. It's one of those things where you think it's the real deal, but it's not. So that hashtag relationship goals, is not necessarily the real deal. And people try to emulate that. And you cannot do that. You just cannot do that. So you pay the bill when you think, okay, I want my relationship to be like somebody else. No, you're going to pay for it because you're getting into something that is not real. Let me say what's up to my people in the chat. Lorenzo, what it do, bro? Thank you for joining the conversation, my man. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. Els, this is why I'm taking a break after a relationship. Yes, I am, man. You have got to take a break. It's unfortunate as it is that a relationship has to come to an end, but it's my humble opinion that, after things end, you got to have a cooling off period. Think about it. Just like this candle right here, it's burning bright. Everything's all good. But just because I blow it out don't mean I can just put my hand on the wick. Hell no, it's hot. You cannot do both. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give it time to cool off, to reset before you're able to move forward. And I think that's the same thing with a relationship. If not, you will be paying for it. Let's see. Elsa, I get confused when you said that taking a break from dating was a bad idea. You do have to have a cooling off period. Okay. But there also comes a period of time where you can go too cold. What was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, we had the NBA championship game, right? And if you notice in basketball especially, the coach is going to sub out his players because they got to get their rest. However, he doesn't have the player start the game in the first quarter and then have him sit on the bench and then he just comes out in the last 2 minutes. Why? He's going to get cold. Just like anything else, that muscle when it comes to shooting, that muscle memory, you have to be in the game in order to execute. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you play the whole damn game. No. So what I was saying when I said that is like, yo, after a breakup, after a divorce, after the relationship comes to an end, you do need to take time because there's a reason why the relationship ended. Either something you did, something they did, maybe there was a disconnect, maybe you drifted apart, whatever the case may be. You've got to sort out why did it happen. If you don't take time to sort it out and you just move on into the next one, you are bringing the same thing with you. But on top of that, now you have the trauma of a broken relationship. I'm not saying not to date. I'm just saying take some time in order to reflect, figure out why, and then move on to the next situation. Yeah, exactly like Black Pearl said, you've got to grieve. The relationship died. Think about it. Somebody died. Hell, even after, even in life, when unfortunately someone passes away, there's all kinds of processes that go in. You've got to go, if there's a will, if there's property, if there's all kinds of stuff, you don't just be like, all right, let's keep it moving. No, it takes time to process. You got to grieve that relationship. Melanie Marie, what's happening? That is my co-host that I was just talking about for... If I can get my shit together. Melanie, that's my co-host on Free For All Friday. We're going to be talking about a few things. I know I'm going to jump the gun just a little bit. I said I was going to talk about, but I'm a little bit excited. It's a new thing. You know what? Calm down, Chris. Calm down, Chris. Let's stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Anyway, excuse me. Oh, let me get back on it. Let's turn that off. So, y'all know what that sound means. You're going to pay for it, right? You're going to pay for it. Now, the one thing that, the last thing I want to talk about is paying for it, and that's especially for us dudes. My dudes out there, y'all already know when it comes to OnlyFans, when it comes to, let me let y'all hear that sound one more again. That's right, that sound, okay, aka the hub. Now, me personally, I prefer XNX, but anyway, that's another. But all I'm saying is, there are times. This, again, the internet, we're able to go out there and get exactly what we want. You like this? Oh, feet, ba-da-dum, pay for it. Oh, you like breasticles? Ba-da-dum, pay for it. There comes a point in time, though, where the fantasy will take over, and there's a problem when it comes to paying for it, because you think that, well, if she's doing that on camera and she's taking all 10, yeah, she's a professional. So there's a problem when it comes to paying for it, when it comes to that aspect of it as well. So it's one of those things. Yeah, there can be too much of a good thing when it comes to paying for it in that regard. So I want to hear what y'all have to say. I want to know, how do you feel about paying for it when it comes to dates? Do you think the guy should pay for it? Do you think the girl should, the woman should pay for it? I want to know, what do y'all think about who should pay for it? Also, have you ever been on a situation where the guy made you pay, but it's like, things didn't work out? I definitely, need to know. Let me go back and check these comments. I just dropped the link to these. You know what? It would probably help if I actually turned on the Zoom. My bad. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'll be thinking Pornhub all day. Oh, snap. Self-care is definitely needed between relationships. I wholeheartedly agree. Now, how long it takes for you to go to have that self-care, that is, the question. But I definitely say self-care is needed. Let's see. Torian said, my author client told me I need to hurry up and move on. Yes, you do. First of all, I support anything authors say, because as an author myself, I think that, that is authors aren't wrong because, you know, we're actually brilliant people. And with that being said, I forgot to even mention the fact that, yeah, your boy's an author. That's right. So I've written 3 books. Y'all remind me to let y'all know the links in the description section below. But let's go back to what Torian was saying. Oh, man, I swear I love that sound. It's going to keep playing all day. Torian said her author friend told her you need to hurry up and move on. Yeah. Yeah. Again, you do have to move on because once you've went through the grieving process, like Melanie said, yeah, I got you, Els. I'm about to start it. Hold on. Don't be rushing me. My bad. Hey, y'all, there's a lot of stuff going on up here, man. Let me get this in. All right. Okay, computer, hold on. Okay. Don't want that. Check 1. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead and start your camera for me. Do you want to be shown or not shown? I can hear you. I can't. There you go. You want your camera shown or you want to be on or off? Off? I got you. Let me get you set up. Okay. Hello, ma'am. Talk to me. So tonight we're talking about paying for it. What you got? Oh my God. Hold on. You know, your boy, I never get it right. Hold on. I never get it right. Hold on. Let's make sure monitor off. I swear, man, technology. So we got Zoom private, audio up. I can hear you loud and clear. I want to make sure everybody else can hear you because, you know, they count too. All right, hold on. Okay, so why am I not able to hear you? Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, I know the problem. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Just a little technical stuff. Y'all know. There's a lot of stuff, man, that be behind the scenes out here. Here we go. Desktop audio is default. So let's do this. We're going to apply that. Okay. All right. Let me get a check for you, man, please. Come on.
Testing. Atlanta. So I put this in the chat. Whomever invites or initiates the date needs to pay. And I hate using the word need to, but I feel like that's fair. I feel like a lot of the times, and this is not fact, so I'm using the word, I'm trying to choose my words very wisely. So okay. I think a lot of the times men feel that there are a lot of women out here who are just looking for free dates, right? Free dinners, not necessarily.
It happens more often than we care to admit. But go ahead, I'm listening.
No, that's what I'm saying. That they feel that a lot of the times women are asking or wanting free dinners, so they would prefer going Dutch to protect themselves. So I get that point. However, I would think before you even get to the first date that you're doing some sort of vetting process to ascertain what kind of person you're meeting. So like the few people that I have met that did pay for dates that end up and then later on I end up paying for, we had FaceTime conversations, phone conversations for probably like a couple of months before they even asked me out on a date. And that's
a couple of months. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a long ass time. A couple of months. Why the hell did it take that long before they asked you out?
So the first guy, the reason why it took a couple of months was because um, I had gone through a loss with my mom.
Oh, I'm sorry to
So
hear
I
that.
needed, yeah.
You need some
So
time. Yeah.
planning the funeral and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff took some time. And I think he could tell that I needed time to just
Mm-hmm.
collect myself. So he did ask after that cooling down period, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy, that probably didn't take a whole 2 months, but it was maybe like 6 weeks or so. And again, it was more of trying. I I always assume that men and women are dating multiple people. So he probably needed more time to really decipher through like the crowd of people he was talking to who he wanted to invest that kind of time in and money into. So it didn't offend me really. And I'm all for even just doing a coffee date or going to the park just to chat and like meet in person. I don't always require a dinner date. I think dinner dates can be a little awkward trying to like have a conversation, trying to get to know someone while you're eating. So
Mm-hmm.
there are other ways of planning dates. I think it's just a matter of being more creative and not just think like I need to plan a fancy, expensive date. You can do other things. I've been
Yeah.
on gym
Yeah.
dates that didn't cost any money except for my gym membership. Or if they didn't have a gym membership at the same gym, they would pay like um, the guest fee.
Oh,
Um,
a gym date.
yeah, I've
That's a
been
great idea. That way you can
yeah,
get to see, you can see what the gluteus maximus is looking like, and ah,
not
I
just the
like
gluteus
it.
maximus, but I think
Ah.
it's kind of almost getting to see the
No, I'm
girl
talking about from a man's
outside.
point of view.
For a
Yeah,
man's point of view, sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
also, I keep hearing men say they want to see the woman in their natural state, like what they look like
Mm,
without makeup. I typically, this is what you see. This is what I
I
look
see.
like going to the gym with my hair pulled back. I don't have any lashes, so I will put on mascara just to wake up my eyes, but I don't. I have skin issues. I break out from time to time,
Mhm.
but I go in and just show who I am, barefaced, and work out. I've
Right,
done
because you're there to
that
work
several.
out.
Yeah, I've done that several times. So one of the guys, he invited me to a date. The next date, he actually suggested a gym date, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down
That's a great
for
idea.
sure." And then the third time, I invited him on a date, and I paid. So it all depends. I think there just needs to be a better vetting process to
Hmm.
ensure that one, the man is not feeling like entitled to the woman's body after paying for the date, which I know a lot of women are concerned about, which is why they also prefer going Dutch. But for me, I feel that whomever invites the person, man or woman, or if you're in a same sex relationship, should pay. Long story short.
So whoever asked the person out. Now,
Yeah.
I've got a couple people in the chat because they're kind of like me. They're like, hold on, a couple of months. That's a long time. So, and you said y'all went out on how many dates total?
The one that waited a couple months, we dated for a good 8 months or so.
And when you say a couple of months, is that 2, 1.5, 3? How many months was it before y'all actually went out on the first date?
So we connected beginning of April. My mom
April is a
passed.
fantastic month, by the way. Let me
It
just put
is.
that in there.
I know.
Great
And it's
things happen in April. Great people were born in April. But please
I was
continue.
born
Just had
I was born in April.
you
My,
are a
my
great
birth,
person. You just
thank you.
Mhm.
April was also the month that my mom passed away. So she passed 2 months after my birthday.
Oh, I'm
Yeah. So
sorry.
we connected in April, and then he didn't actually ask me out on a date till like the end of May, which
Hmm.
basically was June. So it was pretty much a couple of months. But we talked and FaceTimed a lot.
I gotta ask though. This is an adult show. I gotta ask. So y'all connected in April-ish.
Mm-hmm.
First quote unquote date was June. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to ask, when did y'all do the do if you did the do? Because if my boy waited that long and y'all went on what, 4 dates? I need to know, when did adult activity take place? Because that is very, very important.
July.
Okay, that's cool. All right, that's cool. Because I promise you, if that man waited all that time, took all them dates, and y'all didn't intertwine and discuss the beast with two backs, I'm not sure if you and I could actually be friends, because
But
I'm
listen,
just saying.
no, listen. It wasn't all me though. He was also going through a divorce.
I'm
And
sorry, that's not how us dudes work. As long as
listen.
if the tunnel is open,
Can
we're
I
entering.
finish?
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Shoot, we ain't worried about that. That's a distraction.
Christopher,
Go ahead, my bad.
finish. He was going through divorce. Him and his ex-wife had 3 dogs, and one of the dogs was staying with him. And because of that, he couldn't have people over, which is why we didn't get intimate. No, because I'm being so serious. Can you let me finish? Let me land. No, let me land.
Shit. That dog be locked in the bathroom somewhere. Go ahead.
No. This dog was very he was an older dog, and he was always used to being with the 2 other dogs. So being separated from the 2 other dogs, it manifested in him peeing everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, these were not excuses.
Motel 6, Holiday Inn. Shit.
What kind of woman do you think I am?
I'm just saying, it ain't after 2 months
All I'm
and
saying,
4 dates, man. Shit.
I'm saying this: there was no rush on either one of us on our ends. We were both adults. He was older; he's 42, so there wasn't a lot of rush to get the cookie, so to speak. We really genuinely love talking with each other and getting to know each other.
Oh, we get to know each other, but all right, I got you.
and that relationship lasted for a long time because of it, because we had that basic friendship, respect for each other, whereas other encounters have had, some of them didn't even make it to the date because they never asked, and would always put it on me well, I haven't heard from you. I'm like, I've been the one reaching out the past few times, and I'm taking a step back to allow you to show me that you're really interested, and now I'm the one you're saying that you didn't hear from me. And even to the point where they were expecting me to plan the dates. I'm like, oh no, I will plan a date after I can see that you're capable of planning things and showing interest, because that's, for me, that says a lot about a man to me, if they're just wanting to sit back and want the woman to take the lead on everything. That's not attractive to me.
You know what? And thank you for calling in. I do appreciate you being a fan out there. I really do. You just brought up a point that I forgot to mention. It's sitting right here on my notes when we talked about paying for it. So you probably are going to want to call back in after you hear this one. But once again, thank you for joining the chat. You made that man wait for 2 months. And for the record, 42 is not old. Oh my God.
I didn't make him wait. I did not make him wait. He took his time, and I appreciated it.
Are we talking about before? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening. Okay.
Yeah, no. Again, I like it when a man shows interest, and a lot of the times, showing interest to me means you're going to ask me out. You want to see me, and it doesn't have to be dinner. It can be coffee. It can be
happy hour, something like that. Yeah.
Something casual where we get to meet each other in person. However, he didn't, and I think it was because I was in the planning process of my mom's funeral, and I'm Ghanaian. A lot of our rituals take a lot of time. So not only did I plan the funeral, I'm the firstborn, so I was taking the lead on that, but also doing a celebration of life, which took place the month after, in May. So after that was done, that's when he asked me to meet.
Would you have been open to meet if he had asked? I mean, I understand, you're going through that, and I definitely understand how, moving that is, with your mother passing away, and just also the responsibilities, etc. But would you, if he had asked and just brought it up, say, hey, I know you're going through this, but would you like to meet up just for a quick, 15, 20 minutes, just, would you have been open to that?
I would have been. I don't know if we would have had found time to meet though. because during the funeral, I was also putting my mom's house on the market. I was looking for a place to live, and he worked during the times that I would have been available. He's a cop, so, and then he was also on call most of the time. So I would have, if we were able to coordinate time, it would have been really tight though, because I was always doing something, because we talked almost every single day.
Right. So that, I guess what the reason I'm asking, and I understand it, you know, but I don't know. I maybe
I'm not advocating people to wait that long. I was just in a special circumstance.
I understand. It was just the timing of it, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. All right. I get it. Makes sense. And 42 is not old, for the record.
It's not old, but it's old enough where some men may have some issues in that area.
Oh, not the blue diamond. All right.
Right.
Yo, thank you for the call. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. Yeah, man. Lorenzo, you're right, bro. A couple of months, that's a long time. Whew, that is a long time to be waiting. But you know what? You know, they say good things come to those who wait. I'm just saying, man. What we got? Peeing dogs? I know. What kind of show am I running? Yes, I know. And 42 is not old. You're right, Dana. Thank you for that. Let's see what we got. True, a lot of men don't initiate and ask for a date. I'm not asking a man out first. Now, that brings me to... It's a long time. It is a long time. I'm just saying. But before we get into that, I want to talk about this as well. Let's talk about paying for it, meaning the breadwinner. If you are in a relationship, and ladies, y'all let me know how this makes you feel. I know that traditionally the man is the one that takes care of the house and, you know, does all the, you know, that's the way that it's been told to us in our society, right? But what I want to know is if the roles are reversed and you as the, you know, the woman in the relationship are now the breadwinner or the one that's taking care of the house or making the house work. How does that affect the relationship dynamic? Meaning you're the one that's paying for it. You're the one that's paying for everything. You're the one that's doing everything. And your husband or your partner, your male partner, is more of the support, as it were. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, women need to stay in the kitchen all beer. I'm not saying that. I just want to hear from my ladies out there. How does that, if you've ever been in that situation, how has that, you know, affected the relationship? Meaning they're the, you know, you're the one that's paying for it. And as always, y'all, please, if you want to jump on the Zoom call, please make sure that your audio's connected and your camera's connected. You don't have to necessarily be shown on camera, but I still need to see you, please, and thank you. Now, had a couple questions in the chat, and Melanie wants to know, why is that a long time? The question, you know, what we were saying, Melanie, not Melanie, but Els was saying that they basically were just talking on the phone, FaceTiming, that kind of thing, roughly 2 months before the first date. To me, that is a long time, because I'm just like, all right, after the first week, first 2 weeks, I need to see you. I need to lay eyes on you. I'm a visual person. Most men are visual people, and y'all already know them angles can be very deceiving. You know, you can hold the phone a certain way and all of that. I mean, shit, think about it. That's the reason why the show Catfish was so successful. You know what I'm saying? So, and also there, even though FaceTime is better in this regard than just a standard phone call and more than a text, you're at least able to see the person, and the body language means a lot. But there's certain things when it comes to body language that you can't see unless you have that person directly in front of you. You know what I'm saying? How they move, you know, eye rolls and just certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that's why I think, to me, you know, 2 months is a long time. However, like Elle said, that was a special circumstance in that she was going through something in her life, and he was going through something. So, you know, the time frame, I'm sure, affected that as well. And like she's saying here in the chat, it's up to the couple to decide how the dynamics change. I agree with that 100%. I just think 2 months is a long time to be waiting. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so but also, Elle said something as well, and I'm gonna go back and talk about what Dana said in the chat. But I want to show this TikTok again because what she just said kind of brought that up. So
men should always pay on the first date, and get this, for our own good. You know, when us guys take an issue with paying the first date, the issue isn't tied to the number of dollars that we're spending at the end of the day. And if it is, respectfully, you need to go get a job. The issue is when we end up paying for someone who has this real sense of entitlement, like this expectation that we will pay. That's precisely why we need to always pay. Because look, your date, whoever that is, may very well be the person you end up marrying. And trust me when I say, as a divorce lawyer, who you end up marrying is so important. So let's say at the end of the date, you pull out your wallet to offer to pay, and your date just sits there expecting you to pay as if that is the obvious course of action. In that moment, what did you just learn? You just learned that the person in front of you is entitled and frankly has the audacity to expect a near stranger to pay for them. And just imagine how someone like that will treat their significant other, their spouse, for a low price of $20, $30, $40 or whatever. You learned that the person in front of you does not have the basic courtesy to pretend to offer to pay, and that therefore you should never go on another date with them. And that's why.
And what else said in that, and there's the, you know, the expectation. And I think that when it comes to dating now, from talking to different women and just what Elle said right there herself, is that there is a certain, you have to protect yourself. I think that men nowadays are looking at it from the aspect of protecting their pocket, and women are looking at it from they're trying to protect that pocket too, if you know what I mean. So you have to be very careful. And I think that, you know, there does come a point in time to where the person, if you pay for yourself, then there's less of an expectation, less of a chance of you either getting yourself in a bad situation or being taken advantage of. And that brings me back to Dana's comment. A lot of men don't initiate or ask for the date. I think that is probably more true, because I think that I'm not sure if it's just dudes aren't comfortable being rejected, or maybe there's a certain. I think that social media. Let me say this. I do believe that social media has put men on the edge of being put on blast on some social media site, be it Facebook, be it Twitter. Is like, you know, because we're communicating via text or via inbox or via messenger, whatever the case may be, there's certain things that you may say that all of a sudden it's like, now you on blast. It's like, look at this, you know, clown right here, blah, blah, blah. So I think that a lot of dudes are on edge and very wary about making themselves look stupid. And because of that, they don't want to take the initiative of making the first move, because you just never know. There was a couple weeks ago, there was a lady in a gym. And, you know, she was working out and the guys glanced up at her and just looked at her and she's like, may I help you? And now she's trying to go viral for putting these dudes on blast for being pervs, and they weren't paying her no damn attention. If you're in the gym, you see somebody move or you see somebody working up, you look. But it's not a matter of you being leery. So men are very, very cautious in making the first move because nobody wants to be thought of as a perv or, you know, wants to be labeled as the next Bill Cosby type situation. So that's why a lot of men are, I believe, cautious in saying, hey, you know what? Hey, Sean, let me holler at you, that kind of thing. When I was coming up, hey, man, shit, all you needed was a mouthpiece. And it's like, hey, what's happening? Things are different now. I mean, I'm still that dude, but things are different now where it's like, yo, and it's just like Lorenzo said, a lot has changed in with these different generations, because it's like, yo, nowadays it's different. It's so different. You know, and Elle said, you know, her guy waited 2 months. She didn't ask him to wait that long. But she also said if he had said, hey, you know, Especially if he's a police officer, if he's, I don't know if he's in his patrol car, but I've seen a DeKalb County car, driving all the way down in freaking Griffin, Spalding County. So it's like, county paying for the gas. I get it. I don't know what they were doing, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna be in your area. I know you got a lot going on. Let's just link up 10 minutes, just talk to you, give you a hug, because of, the situation going through and going about your business. Waiting 2 months is a long time, I think, but I can also get it that he was going through his thing as well. I don't want to get focused on the time per se. It's just a matter of why some dudes don't take the initiative. There's so many different reasons why, whether you agree with it or not, but yeah, I don't know. That's a long time. And that kind of brings me to, a couple things as far as for what we're going to be talking about on the next CM show. The green flag, meaning, when are we going to get started? Let me go back here. Wait a minute, man. I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying, Els. I hear you. She said he was in Powder Springs and he was in Decatur and I was in Powder Springs. I get it. I'm in Atlanta, and for those of you who aren't in Atlanta, Powder Springs to Decatur is probably, that's a nice little hump. I ain't gonna lie. It's about, a good 45-minute drive? I don't know. We'd have figured it out, damn it. We'd have figured it out. Especially if I need to see what the donkey's looking like. I would have been like, hey, I don't know. Again, that was a special circumstance. I get it. But anyway, next week on the next episode of the CM show, next week, we are going to be talking about green flags. Green flags, meaning, how do you start things off in the first place? What is it that one even gets you in the race? In L's case, the race didn't start. They were at the starting line for a couple months before they went on the first date. I'm gonna keep teasing you. I'm sorry, but anyway, it's like, what is it that gets the situation started? Who makes the first move? Who is it that initiates contact? Who is it that does all of that? We're going to be talking about that on the next episode of the CM show. Did somebody just jump into the chat? Did I miss something? Okay, good. We're good. All right. But before we even go to next week, Tuesday, let's talk about next week, Friday. So next week, Friday is the it's the second episode of Free for All Friday, the Free for All episode or edition of the CM show. We're going to be talking about all of the things. So just to fill you in, I love doing the weekly show, but we have a topic usually. Like tonight, we're talking about paying for it. Next week, we're going to be talking about the green flag, meaning getting started. But throughout the week, each week, all kinds of stuff happens, and we don't necessarily get to it in the show. So what I did was I came up with a second show, the Free for All Friday show, where we talk about all of the latest things that happen in the culture, in the community, but always from the aspect of looking at it from the relationship point of view, right? So this week, my partner, by the way, Melanie Marie, we're going to be talking about the Sha'Carri Richardson, old boy with the baby mama who was getting all upset because he only brought food for one child. We're also going to be talking about Lil' Kim, and we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about the BET Awards show. So be sure to tune in on Friday at 7:00, or you can go back and watch the preview. But we're going to be doing this every week. Every week is what we are going to be, every Friday we're going to be talking about Free for All Fridays. That's the latest iteration of the CM show. So on Tuesday, next week, Tuesday, the next CM show is going to be about green flags. And then after that Friday, we have Free for All Fridays. So make sure if you have not already done so, please make sure you subscribe. All right, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that way you will be notified every time I go live. And as always, y'all, please, y'all know I'm an author. check my books out. Make sure you leave a review. In fact, I'm a little bit excited. So I'm working on book number 4. This is my process. I get a book and I start making notes because the first things first, I need to figure out who my characters are. So my next book, Desperately Seeking Understanding, book number 4, I have started and your boy is excited about that. The inspiration is coming back to me and I am feeling good. So I'm going to sign off. Y'all, it has been a fun show. I appreciate each and every one of y'all logging in, joining in the conversation. Look forward to talking to y'all on Friday. And as always, y'all have a good week. And please, please, please stay determined. Y'all be careful out there, man. Be safe because there's a lot of nonsense going on in this world too. Whew. Anyway, y'all have a good one. See y'all next week.